Back here on the show with Chris and Rick on the all-new K98. Very special guest star we've been talking about, ladies and gentlemen, this morning. He's a frequent contributor to the program, one of our favorite guests, a good guy. It's UFO Phil. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning. Thank you for calling me.
Oh, you're welcome, and thanks for taking some time out for us this morning to talk about, well, first of all, the big deal, two recent UFO sightings in China over the last couple of weeks. What can you, how can you shed some light on that for us, UFO Phil? What's going on in China?
I'm glad you contacted me about this instead of trying to, call NASA or somebody who doesn't know anything.
Right.
Because, I'm an expert. I'm connected to a lot of alien activity. I monitor their transmissions over my wires and my transceivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of information on these particular cases. In particular, the red and white glowing UFO that was spotted close to the Chinese airport.
Right.
Okay. Now, there's been a lot of speculation by various groups calling themselves experts, and since the sighting happened on July 7th, some of these UFO scientists here on Earth thought that it might be some aliens arriving late for our Independence Day fireworks celebrations.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the idea behind that theory is that maybe the aliens had a GPS that pointed them in the wrong direction, kind of like Google Maps, when it tells you to go left when it really means right.
Right.
And it sent them to China by mistake, or perhaps they got mixed up because fireworks are made in China, and so they went there instead of coming here. But those theories on the surface sound good, but this is why you need to talk to me, because I know what was really going on.
Well, and that's why we immediately thought of calling you UFO Phil, because now that makes a lot of sense. Fireworks, Chinese fireworks, 4th of July, maybe they were lost. All right, so now that's the one outside Shanghai, the airport sighting on July 7th. But what, like almost a week or so later, there was another UFO. Now, what's the deal with that?
Well, see, these are actually the same aliens. And by the way, that theory that I threw out there, that's not my theory. That's just sort of one that's floating around, and it's incorrect.
Okay.
I actually have the real theory, and it covers both of the UFO sightings.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that. But can you give us and the listeners a little background on the second UFO sighting around the 15th?
Yeah. Well, what happened is basically it was a craft full. Now this is for real. This is not speculation. This is fact.
Okay.
This is what I know.
Okay.
That this particular UFO was a craft full of alien athletes from Mars, and they were coming down here to try and do some martial arts training at the Shaolin Temple.
Wow.
It's true.
Imagine that, because there's been some speculation that the Chinese military was maybe testing a new aircraft or missile, but Phil, with what you were talking about with the athletes coming down and with the alien athletes and China's explanation or the speculation, how can I put this? How easy is it to distract most of the American people from what the real purpose of the UFO is? In other words, why are the governments and why is the media so secretive? Why do they try to throw us off the scent?
Can you keep a secret?
I'll certainly try.
Well, you know how you hear about these Russian spies that are caught in the U.S.?
Right.
They're over here trying to they're paid by the Russians, but they're pretending to be Americans.
Right.
Well, the bad aliens from Mars have spies here on Earth, too, and many of them work in the media, and some of them have even been implanted at NASA. So their whole purpose is to spread disinformation, so that when these sightings come out, they will, jump on the news and say, oh, it's a hoax, or, oh, it is just the military doing exercises, and they're not going to tell you the truth about the Martian athletes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why you have me.
Yeah, exactly, Phil. That's why you were the first person I knew that we had to get a hold of you to explain this. So let's back up again. I don't want to leave people hanging. You said the 4th of July GPS, the Chinese fireworks, might have been kind of a ruse. What's the real background? UFO Phil, what's the real story on these recent sightings, on these recent UFO sightings in China?
Can you keep a secret?
I'll certainly try.
Harry, I'm going to give you the complete truth here now, and I need you to pay attention because there's actually potentially some serious consequences.
Okay.
Now listen carefully.
Okay, sure.
Now, I told you that both of these sightings were actually alien athletes from Mars, and what they're doing is they're coming down here, and they're going specifically to China because of the Shaolin Temple. Now, historically, the alien Kung Fu was always superior to Chinese Kung Fu. It's partly because the Martians have had thousands of millennia to perfect their style.
Sure.
It's also because their version of martial arts up on the planet Mars includes punches, kicks, and lasers shooting from their eyes. So, you see, if they can't get their opponent in a judo lock, they can just melt him down to the floorboards with their eyes.
Wow.
Okay, so the real question would be, why would superior Kung Fu martial arts fighters from Mars want to come down and train in China for inferior human Kung Fu? But I know the answer.
Okay, what would that answer be?
You can still keep a secret, right?
I'm trying, Phil. You've got me. You've got us.
Okay. Well, even though down here on Earth we all saw that Karate Kid movie about a month ago, it only just opened last weekend on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And so those Martians have just recently seen Jaden Smith doing all those freaky cool Kung Fu moves and hypnotizing the snake and all that stuff.
Right.
It's all movie trickery. But see, they don't know about special effects on Mars, so they think it's all real. So now they think that perhaps that Jaden Smith's Kung Fu that he learned is maybe superior to the lasers coming from the eyes, so they're coming down here to learn it, and that's why they were trying to land in China. And the worst part is, are you ready for this?
I'm ready, Phil. Go ahead, lay it on us.
It turns out, based on my recent transmissions, that their ultimate plan is to come down here and kidnap Jackie Chan.
What?
Yeah?
Phil, you've got to go. You've got to go public with this. The man's life might be at stake.
Well, if I have to go public, I will. But at this point, I have some countermeasures I'm trying to put in place. And if everything goes well, I may be able to work out something where they take Chuck Norris instead, and we get to keep Jackie Chan, so all will be well. It'll be just fine. I'm not worried about that.
Oh my goodness! Well, if anybody can pull off an alien swap of this magnitude, it would be UFO Phil. There you go, folks. Trying to answer your questions. We know we've taken a lot of calls about these UFO sightings, and UFO Phil has been on the show with us this morning to provide some answers. Phil, thank you so much. Once again, all the best. Keep watching the skies for us. Be ever vigilant, my friend, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, thanks. I'll talk to you later.